We're about to be live, just so you guys know.
What? We're about to be what?
Live. Oh, yeah.
We're just going to adjust the schedule on the fly here. We won't have to have another meeting.
All right. So you guys brought your guys' head in. You're like, he's really small. And how do you adjust it? Well, a lot of kids think control plus, control minus is making things bigger and smaller. You're just zooming in. To adjust things, you hit control T or transform. So doing control T, you'll get these handlebars around your image. All right. Now the rule of thumb
You have to be somewhere first.
Nope. You just be on the right layer.
Okay.
When you hit control T, you get the handlebars. And I always tell my students, when you resize, especially people, to hold down shift so it sizes in proportion. Hold down shift and grab a corner. And when you do that, it'll resize it. Now, you're going to be like, it's all blurry. What's going on? You haven't applied the transformation that you have just made. Right? And in order to apply the transformation, you'll hit enter, or you will just grab your move tool and it'll tell you to apply it. So there's an Elmo. Okay, so then this is where, I say,
Yeah, it's a little choppy now.
cut some people's heads up, or and then find like a body from the internet and mix match them. And again, when they take the body, they might be able to use the magic wand tool, delete the background. So like here, if I go to, this is so gutsy when you're live. Like a lot of people just like, I'll type this in hopefully. That's what I like to do. So like you have Disney princesses like here or something.
Big bell.
So, like maybe they want to put this face on this guy's body. So they could use all these different types of tools. Let's see if I can do one real quick so you guys can see. And again, I'm not being exact. I'm just trying to hustle through it. All right, now I got the head I still need to take off, right? Alright, so I've got the head to take off and all this. Now, you can show them how to use the eraser tool. They'll find it themselves. It's right here. So what I do is I use a selection tool to get that up, but they might just do this. Something like that. And now they got to learn about having two layers here. So you got the layer of the head, both the body and then the head, right? They're like, well, that doesn't look natural. Well, they need to know, all right, I need to resize my body or something like that.
Notice how the square goes way outside the dress, which just means you got noise that wasn't deleted. Like
and then they're like, oh, this head needs to be, whoops, wrong one.
So far right, it goes through, it means there's more.
And this would also be a good time to use the eyeballs, just...
Yeah, because there's a lot of noise going on there, exactly.
Yeah, keep in mind, too, on the layers to the right, whatever is at the top is the one that's in the front. The background always has to be the last layer at the bottom.
Yeah, he's got his head tilted. Like, what are you guys learning over there? Photoshop, sir, that's what we're learning. All right, so that's technically the last thing. I mean, what I was telling you before is the first day you teach them the interface, you show them where everything's at, and that's going to take a while. How to open, how to save something. You might not even get to your first selection tool. So you got 5-10 minutes of class left. One of the fun things, it's interactive, gets them, they make some cool designs and stuff, is you show them how to do a gradient. And like I had 10 minutes left in class, maybe less than that. And I just show them where the gradient tool is at, and I think the paint bucket is up there by default. Is that what's right here on your guys' screen? Is it a paint bucket or does it look like the gradient tool? Does it give it a square or a paint bucket?
I have a square.
Okay, so the gradient tool is
Right? Yeah, it's a square.
Yeah.
okay. So I say, all right, there's the gradient tool. They know where all the options are, right? Up here. I don't tell them anything about the options. I just say, all right, mess around. I go, you can't break the program. So some kids will notice, oh, there's a drop down here. Oh, there's a gradient. Oh, what does this thing do? Like, oh, that's cool. What does opacity do? Oh, okay. It looks like it's, putting one on top of the other faintly. And then the next day, I go into how to create your own, how to add, I call them crayons. They look like markers or crayons. I talk about these things up here. I talk about the modes. One mode they're going to love is the difference mode, which just makes cool, crazy designs over on top of each other. And these are all up here.
So you have students use this and create a
It's a background, yeah. So it basically looks like that then when it's all done.
So this would be a time where they would have to, if they created a new.
You can do this the first day.
Right, but I'm saying if they did this last, they would have to then make this their 0 layer.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be 0 layer, because what they could do is, right now, it would look like this, right? You have, I'll make it so it looks like what they have. Aw, snap, let's just do, you know what, it'd be easier if I just did this.
You can also rename those.
Alright, so it looks like this, right? It doesn't have to be a layer 0. Like, see, it says layer 9.
Yeah.
It might be up here. Like, they could just go down here where it's add new layer and just move it to the bottom.
Okay, so it's location.
Yeah, yeah.
That just has to be the order you created. Okay.
Exactly. You can always rearrange your layers.
Okay.
Mhm.
Merge
I'm just going to ask that if I open a new file, can I bring that in?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You just, like here, in your case, you would just, like if I wanted to bring, if I wanted to bring this image over, I would grab over here where layer 0 is and just drag it over here, and now it's there. So same thing with the gradient. You would just grab the layer.
There. But now I need to move to the bottom.
Too hard?
I can move that.
Not interesting enough?
Repetition.
There we go.
Huh?
Just needs repetition.
No, I'm talking about for the kids. Do we think, the selection tools and mismatching faces and gradients, is that enough?
So you got to the pen.
So my background, what we just created, so it's stuck down there.
Okay, look at your layers.
It's the bottommost layer.
Yeah. Yeah, but the white layer is the same size as that bottom layer. If I put, these hands are the same size, if I put one in front of the other.
Replacing.
No, if you want to replace, you got to delete, or, yeah.
How do you add another layer with, you just,
Right here at the bottom.
Down by the trash can, bottom right,
oh,
one next to it.
So then,
Create a new layer.
once I show them all these things and they're working around with it, one assessment that I have is just, actually that was in my graphic design class. I tell them, find 3 bodies, 3 heads. Use your selection tools, bring them over, create a collage with a gradient. And then I've got, that PowerPoint that I had. And what I do with this is, by yourself, I want the golf balls cut out. What tool do you use to select it? And I give them a minute to think. Then I say, all right, turn to your partner. I pair them up in 2s. What did they do? Was it the same? Was it different? And then I ask the class in general, how many people said this? How many people said this? How many people said this? And usually you get one with at least one of each tool. And then you ask them to rationalize it. Why? Why? And then you bring that up to the whole class. Though this probably isn't the best for Magic Wand, maybe a kid's like, hey, if I turn the tolerance to this and I hold down Shift, I can grab all this. Because this is completely different than this green over here, guys. It's not going to be that bad. So it just opens the eye of how else to use another tool to the other students. Like right here, you would not use the Magic Wand. You definitely wouldn't use the Quick Selection because they're so close that you can't really tell the edges. You'd use the pen tool to get exact around the puppy. Here, you might be able to use the Quick Selection tool, because there's a defined difference between this dark blue and light blue. You
Yeah,
definitely.
but when you get down to it.
hmm So you might then use the pen tool would be the best way. And of course you can combine tools. Like you can have some selected, then use the pen tool and add to that selection. It's possible. Here, like this one, I want the banana. Somebody's like, I want to use the magic wand, delete the background. Somebody goes, I use the quick selection tool and just highlighted the banana. Both logical ways of doing it. And they're both extremely quick.
Oh, gross.
Oh my.
This is gross. I'm sorry.
I had a person who's a huge fan of LeBron James, and I just want to show him how big his forehead is and how bad far his hairline. So again, I mean, like if we wanted to,
Do you show every kid each one of those images, or you just pick and choose?
no, I do it as a slideshow. I mean, like if you go a minute by yourself, 2 minutes, or another minute talking to your partner, and then a minute, it's 3 minutes per.
To share?
Yeah, I mean, it can take a while, but I usually it goes really quick. Like once you get through, like this one right here is quick selection tool or the pen tool. Here, pen tool or quick selection. Him, you could use maybe magic wand on that. But then it's like, yeah, I just started getting goofy. I mean, what are you gonna use? What are you gonna use?
Not
You know what I mean?
The delete button.
You know, so I mean, it's you don't have to get through them all. It's just another formative, assessment of where are your kids at. Are your kids thinking, hey, which tool could I possibly use?
And that discussion piece and that asking higher order thinking questions, this is hitting it.
Again, then it begs the question: do we want to stick with this? Is that going to be interesting enough? Creating heads on other types of bodies. Like I said, they always Google me and they find my image for when I'm coaching on the internet, or they find images of me doing my St. Baldrick's. So they love taking my head and putting it on like Rambo or something like that. And it kind of gets them hooked. But if it doesn't, do we want to just do editing?
No, I think that them doing something like this will catch them more than some editing. They're not going to find a picture of me anywhere because it's not going to be on the internet. If it's on the internet, it's been a big mistake. Okay, I'm just not going to put it out there.
I'm going to look at it. Well, I don't mean to put my coaching pictures out there, but I'm at Athletics 2000.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not there.
Show them liquefying.
My last district
You could show 'em
posted
liquefy.
also.
You show 'em liquefy.
So there's tons of pictures of me out there edited with like all sorts of inappropriate things.
Show them liquefying.
I mean, there is this is then we're drawing the line, Rouge, of how much do we want to show them.
Start.
No, I agree. There's liquefy. Sorry.